Hello and welcome. For those of you who are returning to the channel, you'll see the familiar shape of this Flair Fokker D.VII. It's a model that I've been working on for some time, and recently over the last week or so I've got the basic paintwork done for this, what I think will be a very fetching scheme. It's a Belgian scheme. It was post World War One, and this particular Fokker D.VII was used as a training vehicle, and for that reason I don't need to fit the guns, although I have them. Seems a shame, but I can always use them for another project. So this aperture here will be closed off as it was on the prototype, but what really sets this scheme out is the insignia on the side and the roundels on the upper and lower wing in the Belgian colours. You can see them on the tail here. So let's have a quick look at what the scheme will basically look like. And this is an AI rendering of what the scheme will look like, so it isn't absolutely correct. It's not a D7 for a start. The ailerons are wrong and the tail's wrong, but it gives you some idea of what it's going to look like. I think it's fairly good. This is going to make the fuselage pop. It was the Comet Squadron, and that symbol is meant to represent the comet with the tail. And obviously you can see the roundels on the wings. They, I think, will be straightforward, if a little bit laborious to do. I'll tell you how I'm going to do it. But the first thing I'm going to do is to mark out a 5-pointed star accurately. I'll cut that out and then use that as a template to mark off on the fuselage. I don't fancy doing it direct on the fuselage. The tail of the Comet, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll face one hurdle at a time. Let's show you how I'm going to do the star. Before I do so, this is what the wings look like as they are now, and I think you'll notice that the rib taping does make a big difference to the look of the model. And it's laborious and it's time consuming. There are more time consuming methods to achieve this, but I think it works. It certainly works for me, and I'm happy with the results. Right, back to the star then. The comet itself sits around about here, and I estimate it's about half the size or half the diameter of the distance here. That measures 15 centimetres, so I'm going to work on a star of around about 7 or 8, or a comet of about 7 or 8 centimetres. Let's show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to try and remember how I would do this. There's more than one way to produce a 5-sided star, including one that involves folding and doing a cut, which I forgot how to do now. But here we go. I'm going to go for a star that's about just over 8 centimetres. 1, 2, 3, 4, just over 8 centimetres. So I need, let's make it, there we go. So that's just over, because I find it looks about right. So the first thing is to draw a circle. And then, using a pencil, draw through and produce as near a vertical line as you can. This isn't mega critical. Now, we also need to find the horizontal to this at right angles. Now, you could use a protractor, but you can also use a compass by drawing some arcs. Now, let's see if I can remember how to do this. So if I place the compass on the intersect and open it out and do an arc and a second arc, and then move to the other point at which the vertical intersects the circle, arc, arc. Now if I draw a line through there accurately, it should be a nice right angled line. There you go. Now we have to find the halfway point between the centre and the outer edge of the circle, and we can use the compass to do that again using a similar approach. So if I put the compass point on the centre, and I'm going to draw, obviously outside the halfway point, I'm going to draw an arc here and then switch it to the outside of the circle, draw an arc there, and this point here, to join these up, should be the midpoint between the centre and the outer edge. That's the midpoint. So what I'm going to do now, put the point on the centre there and go to this intersect here on the circle and draw an arc. Now, the distance between here and here is what we need to draw this intersect between the points. Now the sun's coming out there, so it's making it difficult to see. So let's use the compass again. So here to here. So there's one. There's the second. I'll move the pointer. I'll move the pointer. Now, all you simply need to do, and I'll do this with a pen so it shows up a little bit better, draw a line between each point, starting with that one. And this one. This one. This one. And across. And there's our 5-pointed star. Now, if I cut that out, I'm going to then use that on the side of the fuselage to mark off by just marking the points all the way around, and then I'll use masking tape to mask it off. So I'll cut that out and then we'll see how it looks on the side of the fuselage. Got the star. Now let's just get it orientated where I want it, and in such a way that I can repeat it on the other side. Now, looking at the photographs or the sketches, the point of the star seems to be pointing down, and if I take that line there through here, wait a second, I'll just, wait a moment, get some tape handy just to hold it in place. Let's try that again. So the star about there, and let's just tack it like that. Now, am I happy with that? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, all I'm going to do is mark a little dot at each and I'll put another piece on there so I can swap it over and get this end point here. This is just some old masking tape that's been used before. Right, now, apart from that there, which is a bit over the top, I can just about see the other points. And I'm going to mask this up now. And when I've done that, we'll pop back and we'll think about getting some paint on. So masking process starts now. Back in a moment. Well, there we go. One or two choice words, but I've got there. Now we could airbrush this. You obviously have to mask off a lot more than this. But I've been finding that this mask has worked really well on this grey area as it is. It's just a household, well actually this one's a sort of Tamiya copy that I'm using. But I'm going to seal around the edge in this sort of linen cream colour. When that's dry, I'll paint it over red and we'll do a big reveal when it comes to it. Okay, so I've painted around the edge with the cream colour. That's sealed. Let's get some red on and commit to doing this now. I'm using Vallejo Air. Oops, a daisy, that was silly. Just noticed there, never mind. Might have to touch up a little bit. I find the Vallejo paints generally cover really well. I think 2 coats should do it actually. So let that dry and then I'll do a second coat and we'll come back when I'm doing the reveal. Hopefully there's not excessive bleed. Right then, let's see what I've got. I'm pulling back the tape onto itself. It's the recommended method. It's looking nice up to now. I'll get that bit off in a moment. A little bit of a bleed there. It's disappointing. But I can touch that up with a small brush, I think. Just a little bit there. One last little bit. Can I get this off? There you go. So there's the star painted on. And as I say, just the tiniest amount of bleed there, which I'll put right in a moment. Now for the tail of the comet. And to ensure that I get exactly the same pattern on both sides, I'm going to have to make a template. So I'll tidy this up, then we'll have a look at what the template's going to be. Well, that's the easy bit, that I've masked the tail off. The hard bit's going to be to repeat it on the other side. But I've got this as a guide, and I've now got marks that I can line up on the other side as well. The big advantage is you can't see both sides at the same time. Right, I'll seal this with slightly thicker paint this time. That's why I got the bleed there. And then I'll paint it red, and we'll see what it looks like when I unveil it. Well, here we go then. Let's take this off and see what we've got. There you go, that's the first line. The second. Getting these off is a little bit more difficult. Use the blade. Okay, so far so good. See, this is going to be, yeah, thought it had a little bit of an error crept in there. Touch that up, I hope. There we go. I'll touch that up and we'll come back and have a final look at it. And there we have it, folks. A little bit of character. Obviously I'll do the other side. There's no need for you to see that. The next video working on this, I have these to do. The roundels on the wings, and that's a little bit more complicated. It's going to involve some freehand painting, I think, due to the difficulty of masking it. But that's for another day. For today, I'm pleased with that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And feel free to share and let other people see it. Bye for now, folks. Let's stay creative.